All right, what a morning. Hopefully, things weren't as hectic for you guys as they were for me this morning, but we're starting a little late, but let's get started nonetheless. So let's start in a comfortable seated position. And you can sit however you want. I like to kneel like this, but I want you to sit with your palms facing up. So shoulders back, chest lifted, palms up, and just close your eyes and just kind of start to feel whatever it is that you feel. So if you had a weird, stressful morning like I did, scrambling around trying to make sure everybody could get some yoga in, just kind of see if you notice where those little stress spots lie. So when you get an irritating phone call or something happens in traffic or, any of those little things that we encounter on a day-to-day basis, see if you can identify those places, probably somewhere in your neck and shoulder region that tends to kind of take the brunt of that. Soften your jaw and see if you can relax all the muscles in your face as much as possible. So just let everything go slack. Not squinting your eyes, relaxing your tongue and your mouth. And then just take 3 of the biggest breaths that you possibly can. All right, once you finish that 5th breath, just go ahead and blink your eyes open, move your shoulders around a little bit, wiggle your fingers. I got an idea. Let's start with some face yoga this morning. So just keep it nice and weird. So as I kind of cued you guys a minute ago, we're trying to relax the muscles in your face, which is generally a good practice, just so we're not getting all these forehead wrinkles and stuff that all of us are prone to when we're stressed out. But we also should think about there are muscles in your face that do things, right? So I'm sure most of you guys have done lion's breath at some point. So there's kind of an opposite to lion's breath. So lion's breath is sticking your tongue out and rolling your eyes up in your head. So the opposite is going to be closing everything down, pulling your tongue back, pursing your lips, and looking down underneath your closed eyes. So making like a sour, scrunchy face. So since you guys can see me, but I can see you guys, but you can't see each other, this is a perfect time for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 rounds of this. So with a big inhale, you're going to stick your tongue out, roll your eyes back. It's going to look like this. And with your exhale, you're going to squeeze everything in. Okay? So just like that. There you go. Big inhale. Open. Close. Open. Close. 3 more times. Last one. Close, scrunch, and relax. Okay, so now you kind of notice the connection between your neck and your shoulders, and you notice that all these things kind of run down into all those stressy muscles. So try to relax your shoulders one more time. So we'll do one more exercise here, which is actually working your eyes. So little muscles in your eyes. Again, a mindfulness practice, because it's just one of those things that we don't really think about. So for the first one, you're just going to sit up tall, just like you did before. Feel free to change your leg position if your legs are getting tired or anything, but you're going to keep your face facing forward and just bring your eyes as far to the left as you can. And then all the way over to the right. And again to the left. And again to the right. So do one more round on each side like this. And just kind of notice if your head's trying to move to compensate, and just notice if there's any spot that feels a little bit harder to do. Now we're going to go up and down. 3 more times. Up, down, up, down. Last one. Up, down. Okay, a couple more sets. We're going to start from up in the corner, top right corner, down to the bottom left corner. So look up diagonally, look down diagonally to the left. Up to the right, down to the left. Up to the right, down to the left. Last one. Right, left. Okay, now top left, bottom right. 3 more. Left, right. I can feel my own head moving a little bit, so hopefully yours isn't. Down to the right, up, down to the right. Last one. Down to the right. Okay, last little piece for this weird little exercise. You're going to draw a circle with your eyeballs. So just making a big circle, going up to the right first, or one direction. And again, try not to move your head, just move your eyes. 3, 2, 1, back around the other way. So then you start to notice that this is a coordination exercise. And we use these little muscles all day long, and mine are actually starting to feel a little fatigued. I don't know about yours. And then just rest. Once again, close your eyes. Let your face relax one more time. Just take a little inventory of all that weird stuff that we just did. All right, guys, make your way down onto your back. So we'll start with a little bit of core work. So we'll come into a bridge pose just to kind of get some muscles firing a little bit. So when you think about core, and I'm sure some of you guys have heard me say this before, but core is not just your abdominal muscles, it's also your hips, it's also the muscles in the fronts of your hips and your low back, your mid back, deep core. So as you come into this bridge pose, I want you to really squeeze your butt. And maybe you do have a yoga block. If you want to, you could even put it between your knees, but if you don't, you can just squeeze your knees in as if you had a pillow or a block between your knees. Now take a moment to think about which muscles are working here. Inhale, lift up just a little bit higher. Now with your exhale, tailbone down to the ground. So cross your knees, so eagle wrap style. Bring your hands behind your head. So your knees, your heels are off the ground, squeezing your knees together. We're just gonna do 5 crunches here. Big inhale. Exhale, squeeze elbows in towards that top knee and then back down. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. 3 more. Squeeze. 2. Last one. 1. Unwind and then rewind on the other side. So again, 5 times. Exhale, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Soles of the feet down, arms by your sides. So we're going to take a bridge pose again, but this time I want you to slide your feet forward about a foot. So it's a longer distance between your heels and your hips. You're still squeezing that invisible block between your knees. This time I want you to peel your toes back towards your shins. As you press your heels down, you're going to lift your hips up, and notice it's a lot more hamstrings in this position. So we're always stretching our hamstrings in yoga classes. We don't ever really try to get them to turn on all that much. So this may be hard for you, but just do your best. Try not to let your knees or your feet drift out, and really press down and really pull. See if you can squeeze your butt a little bit so your butt's helping your hamstrings. Feel the whole back side of your legs turn on. We're just going to hold this position, take 3 more big breaths, and really focus on pressing and pulling. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Tailbone down. Okay, soles of the feet together, so butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana position. Hands behind your head again. So instead of wrapping your elbows in this time, you're going to try and keep your elbows wide. With an exhale, lift your chest and your chin up. So you're just kind of resting your head in your hands, lift your feet off the ground. So all 4 limbs are off the mat. So we're going to do like a little side crunching motion here. So big inhale. Now with your exhale, right elbow towards right knee, crunching to the side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale to the left. Right. Use your exhale. Left. 6 more. right, left, right, left, right, left, last one, right, left, hold in the middle, just rest your head in your hands, press the soles of your feet together, chest lifts, press your low back into the ground. Imagine you're trying to drive your kidneys back into the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees or back in towards the center, soles of the feet down, lift your hips up, bridge pose. Driving your shoulders down to the ground, driving your heels down to the ground. Hold your bridge for another couple breaths. I'm just going to make sure this thing's still working. Can you see me? Are you guys? Huh? No? Can you see me, Aaron? Zoom! Zoom, when are you going to get it together, Zoom? Okay, back to where we were. Back down on the floor. I'm going to keep my eyes on the screen so that if you guys have any issues, you can at least, or I'll be able to see. So sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. Last one for this little sequence. So slide your heels forward. So we're looking at mostly straight legs here. There's just like a 10% bend in your knees. Toes back really actively. So you got to stay really active with this one. And if it hurts your hamstrings at all, put your hips down. So be careful. Hands down, lift your hips up. Press down, pull back. So now you can hold here. If this is really challenging for you, which it might be, just stay right here. Or you can do a little march, just lifting one heel at a time off the ground just for a second. Just doing a slow motion march, trying to keep your hips up the whole time. Let's march for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both heels down, lift your hips up as high as you can. All right, tailbone back down to the mat. So last piece for this little core and hamstring sequence, hands behind your head just like before. This time lifting your legs straight up towards the sky. Think about peeling your toes back. So hopefully you feel a little stretch in your hamstrings as you do this. So legs as straight as you can get them. Head and shoulders lifting up. Think about lifting your tailbone off the ground. You're just going to reach your right leg forward. Keep your left leg high. Lowering down, down, down slowly. Keep reaching. Let it shake a little bit. Press your kidneys down into the mat. Lower your leg down as far as you feel like you can comfortably. Little hold. Now with your exhale, slow motion, bring it back up. Find that patience. Relax the muscles in your face just like the beginning. Once you get to the top, just switch. Left leg drops. Find the patience to move as slowly as you can. Relax your head in your hands. And then back up. Take your time. Both legs up. See if you can lift your tailbone off the ground a little bit. Little bend in the knees may help for this next one. You're going to lower both feet down. Knees bent as much as you need to. Tap the floor with your big toes and bring it back up. We're just going to do that 3 more times. Straight legs reaching up. Little bend in the knees. Tap the floor with your toes. Remember, bent knees makes this easier. Press your kidneys down to the ground the whole time. And again, 2 more. Lower. Little tap. Last one, reach, little bend, reach down, tap, bring it all the way back up. Now squeeze your knees in towards your chest. So recline child's pose, a little rocking side to side, feeling that massage for your kidneys. All right, guys, when you're ready, come back to the stillness in the center. Squeeze your forehead in towards your knees, and this time we're gonna rock head to tail as many times as you need to. And then whatever way you can get there, maybe hopping back, bring yourself to a plank position on your mat. So get there whatever way you need to get there. Push the ground away a lot. Try and draw your shoulders down away from your ears. So we just got into a lot of hamstring activation, obviously. So now I want you to think about stretching your hamstrings as you engage the fronts of your thighs. So think about pulling your kneecaps up towards your thighs so your legs are really straight. Don't forget to breathe. Take 2 more big breaths, then we're going to lower down super, super slow motion. Now, as we prepare to lower down, knees down to the ground for this first one. Find a little lift through your chest, so think a little cow pose. Lower your chest, chin, throat down towards the mat. Inhale, slide through, chest lifts, cobra pose. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. All right, so pedal your feet out a little bit. Driving your hips back, press the ground away a lot. So remember, if you were a gymnast, this wouldn't be downward dog, this would be a half handstand. So think about really pushing the mat away. Now let's do 2 sun salutation A's. So with a big inhale, drive your hips back. Exhale, step or jump to the front of the mat, both feet. Inhale, halfway up, flat spine. Exhale, slide down. Drive through your heels, unwind all the way up to standing. Reach both hands up, get long. Exhale, little back bend, open your chest. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down, step back, find a plank position. Knees down is always an option. Lean forward, lower down carefully. Inhale, slide through, cobra pose, high as you want to go. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Just 1 breath and then we'll do it again. What are those eyes doing? Inhale, pull your hips back. Exhale, step or jump to the front. Remember what your face is doing. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold in, relax your shoulders. Roll your spine up. Each motion de-stressing. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, both hands reach. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands down. Lean forward, lower down. Inhale, chest up, shoulders back. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Swing your right foot forward, set it down between your thumbs. Okay, spin your back foot flat. Both hands up, warrior 1. So let's take an extra breath or 2 here, just kind of getting this pose dialed, hips squared forward. Maybe palms touching, maybe look up, or maybe just hands wider and looking forward. You choose. Inhale 1 more time, get a little bit longer through the back leg, through the arms. Exhale, both hands down to the mat, step back, lower down. Inhale, slide through. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, swing it forward, set it down. Back heel to the ground. Inhale, both hands up. Again, warrior 1. Again, what are your eyes doing? What position have your eyes taken for this pose? Maybe look up a little bit more. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Step back. Lean forward, lower down. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, hips back. Exhale, step or jump to the front of the mat, both feet. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, slide down. Squat down, chair pose. 5 breaths in chair, so pick a position for your shoulders that feels, approachable. So if your shoulders are tired, hands in prayer is fine. I want you guys to see if you can find that activation, like when you're on the floor and your hamstrings. So as you press down and pull back, see if you can feel the muscles on the backs of your thighs working again. Lift your chest a little bit higher, sink down a little bit deeper. Squeeze your butt as best you can. 2 more big breaths here. Think longer spine. Feel the air pressed out of your body with your abdominal muscles. Exhale, both hands up, straighten your legs. And again, cactus bend your elbows. Inhale, reach up 1 more time. Exhale, right hand to your thigh, just take a little side bend. Inhale, reach a little bit longer. Exhale, slide down a little bit more. Really find that stretch in the whole left side of your body from ankle to fingertips. One big motion all the way up, and then just drop to the other side. Left hand down, right hand to the sky. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink in. Lean into your right foot just a little bit more. Big old inhale. Now with your exhale, all the way up. Interlace your fingers, press your palms to the sky. So even if your elbows are a little bit bent here, think about drawing your biceps back by your ears. Now let's come down into a squat position here. So we're all going to take the arms overhead variation. We won't be here as long. So as you sink down into your chair pose, drawing your hands back a little bit more, sink down just a little bit deeper. Remember, bending your elbows is totally fine, but straighten if you feel like you got some room. Think about turning the thumb side of your hand up towards the sky a little bit more. Inhale one more time. With your exhale, straighten your legs, keep your hands bound, pull your hands in towards your chest. Inhale, lift into the backs of your knuckles. Now with your exhale, press forward, round your back, and just come forward as if you're trying to place your interlaced palms down on the mat in front of your feet. Now maybe you can touch the ground, maybe you can't. If you can't quite touch, which is likely, just do a little bounce here like what I'm doing. If you can put your palms on the ground, think about really pressing your hands into the mat. So either bouncing or pressing. Take 2 more big breaths. Stay active, and again, relax your face. For 3, 2, and 1. Unbind your hands, shake your shoulders out a little bit, get nice and loosey-goosey. Back of the neck gets long. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten spine. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank position. Inhale, lean forward one more time. Exhale, lower down carefully. Inhale, maybe a little bit higher in your cobra pose, maybe up dog if you're up for that. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. 5 breaths, guys. Pedal your feet out a little bit, see how things are feeling. Each one of these sequences, just getting your body to open up a little bit more. All right, one more big inhale. Now with your exhale, rock your body weight forward to your plank position. Now do your best to keep your knees up if you've been putting them down this whole time, just to challenge yourself. You're gonna lean forward and lower down very slowly. 5, 4, coming all the way down, belly, chest to the ground. Try not to collapse. 3, 2, 1. Chest down, tops of the feet to the ground. Lift your chest up, extend your arms out wide. So it's a little variation of locust pose. Your palms are turned away from you, so your thumbs are pointing up. Squeeze your shoulders back. So as we start gradually working into a little bit more back bending, seeing where all of our strength is coming from. So if you feel your low back working a lot here, see if you can peel your chest up a little bit more, get your upper back to do a little bit more work. Now as you lift your legs off the ground, squeeze your butt and squeeze your feet in. So notice how your hamstrings and your glutes both do some of the heavy lifting. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, release, hands and feet to the ground. Now we're going to come back up super slow motion. If this is super hard, put your knees down. Inhale. Now with your exhale, press yourself. Slow motion, back up to your plank. It's going to shake. Just embrace it. 3, 2, 1. All the way to the top. Inhale. Hips up and back. Downward dog. Lift your right leg up in the air. Swing your right foot forward. Set it down between your thumbs. Back knee down to the ground. Inhale. Both hands reach. Exhale, both hands interlace just like before. This time push your palms into the top of your thigh. Find a proud lifted chest as you sink in. Find that little drift. Now as we move into some of these lunging sequences, I want you guys to again embrace what your hamstrings are capable of doing. So press down, pull back, see if you can find the back of your thigh to help you with the position. Now keep that engagement in the lower body. Reach your right hand down, reach your left hand up, and again taking a side bend like you're trying to touch your right middle finger to the ground. You can put your right hand on your thigh if you feel like you need that extra support. Inhale one more time. Now with your exhale, bring your left hand down to the mat, right hand to the sky. Peel your chest open. Think about reaching through both arms and maybe even rely on that left hand on the ground a little bit less. Inhale, peel your chest open a little bit more. Exhale, both hands down on the inside of your right foot. Tiptoe your right foot out to the right. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. Press your palms into the ground. See if you can find a little bit more engagement in your core, a little bit more stretch in those back left hamstrings. Big inhale. Exhale, lift your right foot up. Step your right foot all the way back to your plank position. Inhale, lean forward a little bit. Exhale, lean back, downward facing dog. Okay, inhale, left leg lifts up. Exhale, swing your left foot forward, set it down. Back knee down to the ground. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, find a little back bend, that open chest, and then just bring both hands to the top of your thigh. Again, interlacing, maybe other pinky, other thumb on top. Push away a little bit so you're finding that length, and then pull through your feet and your legs like you're trying to scissor your feet together. Okay, maybe left hand stays down as right hand comes up, or maybe left hand comes down. You choose. Finding that little side bend, shoulders still drawn down away from your ears. Finding a nice big stretch. Continue to pull. Stay active in every single pose. Inhale one more time. Exhale, windmill. Right hand down, left hand up. Peel your chest open. So again, just like those little muscles in your face and your eyes and everything, just focus on the little muscles in your shoulders and your back. Those muscles in the center, your rhomboids, are a little bit smaller than the big lats and stuff, but see if you can really squeeze your shoulder blades in towards the center of your back. Inhale one more time. Now with your exhale, windmill both hands down, inside of the foot, tiptoe your left foot out so you gotta have a wider stance. Back knee lifts. So as you straighten your back leg, think about pressing forcefully your back leg into the ground. Find some height as you push the ground away through your palms. Now this next movement is hard, but just do your best. Big inhale. Exhale, left foot up just for a second, step it all the way back. That's actually what my voice does because I know it's a hard thing to do. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, chest up, cobra pose. Exhale, back down to the ground. So finding that low cobra. So reach back with your left hand, grab your left foot. You can always just kind of rest your forehead on the ground if your neck's feeling tense or irritated at all here, and just kind of get that nice little quad stretch. If you want a little bit more, reach your right arm forward. So right leg, right arm are reaching long, grabbing your left foot with your left hand. Big inhale. Now with your exhale, lift everything up. Kick your foot into your hand, let your shoulder roll back. Lift both straight limbs a little bit higher. Maybe look up if that feels okay. For 3, 2, 1. Release everything down. We're just going to switch sides. Left arm comes out straight. Reach back with your right hand. Capture your right foot. Take a little breather here if you need to, or if you want to, everything up. You can make a little mudra with your left hand if you want. Thumb to pointer finger. Lift a little bit higher. And again, imagine you're squeezing that yoga block between your knees, even though you're grabbing your one foot. Inhale again. Exhale, release. Make a little pillow out of your hands and just rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. Three more big breaths here. Feel the back of your rib cage moving. Those muscles in your ribs are actually what make your lungs move. Your lungs are not muscular, but the muscles around your ribs sure are. One more big breath in. All right, guys, exhale. Hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Push up and back. Downward facing dog, whatever way you need to get there. Okay. Inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, swing your right foot forward, set it down between your hands. This time, back knee stays lifted. Inhale, both hands up, crescent lunge, back heel high, back leg straight-ish. Inhale, reach. Exhale, right hand down. Again, side bending to the right. So as you sink your hips down, trying to keep the back leg straight. Again, as if you're trying to touch your right middle finger to the ground, find a little bit more side bend. You're going to notice the more you straighten that back leg, the more stretch you feel in the front of your left hip. Inhale one more time. Now with your exhale, windmill your left hand down to the mat. Again, taking a twist. Back leg still straight and strong. Keep the left hand nice and light. Get long through both arms. Peeling your chest open. So now we're going to dig into that core strength just a little bit more. I want you to start getting lighter on your left hand, maybe even just hovering your left fingertips an inch or so off the mat. So you're finding that glute activation, your core strength. Find that twist. Open your chest a little bit more. Big inhale. Now with your exhale, pull yourself all the way back up to that twist and keep going. Right hand to the back of your left thigh. Push your thigh into your palm. And again, you're finding that side bend is just a little bit more twisted. So as you reach, sink in. Think about bending your body slightly over to the right. Inhale one more time. Exhale all the way down. Hands to the ground, frame your foot. Inhale, chest lifts up. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Just one more time. Inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, straighten it out. Now your knee is probably a little bit bent here. That's always a good thing. We're going to gradually work into some tension and release stretching. So what I want you to do is I want you to press your front foot down, pull back actively like you're trying to pull your mat back with the sole of your foot. Feel that engagement in the back of your thigh. Inhale one more time. Exhale, relax. See if you can shimmy your foot forward another inch or two. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, press down, pull. This is the last time. We're going to hold it for 5. Keep pulling. Stay active. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Maybe you can even slide your foot forward a little bit more, but don't force anything. Maybe you can peel your toes back. You choose which position feels better for you. Inhale one more time. Exhale, rebend your knee, leaning forward. Inhale, chest lifts up. Exhale, left leg to the sky, standing split at the front of the mat. Okay, so we're going to transition into a warrior 3. So you guys know this is a very similar posture. You're just basically lifting your chest off your thigh. Start to lift slowly. Just bring your hands to a prayer position. Close your eyes. So this is the first really standing balancing posture we've done. So with your eyes closed, just notice it gets a little bit wobblier. Use your toes. See if in your mind's eye you can identify the arch of your foot lifting away from the ground like there's a little ladybug underneath your foot and you're trying not to smush it. Okay, transitioning into tree pose. You guys all know this one. See if you can keep your eyes closed as you bring yourself up and plant the sole of your left foot on your ankle, your calf, or above your knee on the inside of your right thigh. And if you fall over like I just did, just get right back into it. Everybody looks like they're practicing yoga drunk when they have their eyes closed. Just embrace it. All right. Option to keep the eyes closed if you want to. Pull your left knee up towards your chest just briefly. Then you're going to extend your left leg all the way back, just briefly through your warrior 3 position. Step all the way back to your crescent lunge. Inhale, both hands to the sky. Exhale, both hands down again on the inside of your foot. Tiptoe your foot out to the side. So, little funky transition here. If you want to work on an arm balance, since we all have a solid ground to work on instead of being at the park, you can lean forward a little bit. Find that lift as you bend your elbows. Try lifting your right foot off the ground and just make a shelf out of your right elbow. Lift your back heel up or your back foot up. Maybe straighten your right leg out to the right. If that's not in your practice, just hang out in a lizard pose. Wherever you wound up, take 2 more big breaths. So if you're down in that arm balance, you're already in kind of a chaturanga. So with your next exhale, see if you can step it back. Chaturanga. Hold for an extra beat. Slide through, cobra pose, up dog, downward facing dog. Nice work, guys. Take 5 big breaths. So use this down dog as a recovery posture. So as you relax your face once again, check in with those eyeballs in your head. Alrighty, let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Swing it forward, set it down. Find that length, find that strong back leg. Both hands up, crescent lunge. Sink in, side bend to the left. Left hand down, right hand up, sinking in deeply. So you can kind of even floss through this position a little bit. As you rotate your torso, as you work on straightening that back leg, you start to kind of touch on that exalted warrior position that we're going to come back to in a couple minutes. Inhale, reach it a little bit longer. Exhale, windmill your right hand down. If you're tired, just rely on that hand a little bit more. And if you have a little bit more gusto, you drank a lot of coffee like I did this morning, rely on it a little bit less. 3 big breaths. Think about straightening and strengthening that back leg, so it's going to be kind of like your lever to pull yourself back up. Now everybody make your right hand a little bit lighter. Big old inhale. Exhale, pull yourself up slowly. And then reversing, left hand to the back of your right thigh. Think about pressing your thigh into your hand. Back hand is nice and light, sink in. Maybe look back over your left shoulder. Don't forget to breathe. For 3, 2, and then with 1, exhale, both hands down, frame your foot. 2 times, inhale, chest lifts up. Exhale, straighten your front leg. And again, inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten. Now remember, we're going to hold here, that little tension and release. Press your foot down, pull back. A bend in the knee is a good thing for this part. Find your hamstrings again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax your leg. Maybe tiptoe forward a little bit. Listen to your body. Again, inhale, chest lifts up. Exhale, press and pull, drag. Really feel the sensation of your yoga mat on the sole of your foot. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Maybe a little bit more. If you want to find a deeper lunging position here, maybe you peel your toes back. You choose. So this is just sequential stretching and strengthening of the hamstrings. It's really firing them up in a way that you may not be so used to. So just remember, guys, if you need to stretch more later, please do. Sore hamstrings are not the most fun thing in the world, so listen to your body. If you need a stretch, do an extra stretch. Inhale one more time. Exhale, begin to rebend your knee, readjust your position however you need to. So you're finding your lunge, tiptoe your left foot out towards the left edge of your mat. Remember, option 1, if you're tired, put your back knee down, just hang out in lizards. You're still getting a nice stretch. If you want to work your way into that arm balance, fingers spread wide, lean forward, bend your elbows so your upper body's in kind of like a chaturanga position. As your left foot lifts, plant your left inner thigh on the back of your left tricep. Maybe both feet hover, maybe they don't. Maybe you smash your face into the ground, because that's just part of learning this stuff. But at least you're doing it in the safety of your own home. 5, 4. Remember, if you're making that transition to chaturanga, 3. You're going to try and stay low the whole time. 2. And 1. Both feet back. Hold your chaturanga. Find that strength. Slide through. Cobra pose. Up dog. Downward facing dog once again. 5 big breaths. Pedal it out a little bit. How are things feeling? Now with your next exhale, rock your weight forward. Lower all the way down, knees down, however you need to get there, belly to the ground. Okay. So again, we're using the hamstring strength to kind of work into the back body core. We're going to kind of play around with something similar to what we did last time we were down here. Then we're going to wind up in a floor bow if that's in your practice, and I'll give you options otherwise, of course. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start in that first locust pose that we did. So chest lifts, arms at your sides, lift your hands up. Imagine you're squeezing a yoga block between your thighs. So again, if this feels like plenty of work for you, this is totally fine. You can just stay right here. Otherwise, we're going to kind of alternate. It's almost like back body crunches. So as you reach your left hand forward, bend your right ankle or bend your right knee, tap your ankle. Now we're just going to do the same thing. It's almost like a swimming motion. So let's do 10, switching, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab whichever ankle you wind up on. We might all be different, so lift the opposite arm and leg up. So back where we were. Just hold this position. 3, 2, 1. Now switch, reach back, grab with the other hand, other foot. Try not to let your knee drift out too much. Chest gaze lifts as much as your neck will allow. 3, 2, 1. Release. Arms and legs out wide. Everything lifts like a 5-pointed star, except you're just face down on your mat. Chest up, arms up, legs up. Hands underneath your chest. Push yourself back to a child's pose. Take this opportunity to let your breath relax. We're going to come right back down to some more back bending here in a minute. So, as always, if you're feeling a lot of compression or any kind of irritation or pain in your low back, just hang out down here. We're going to come into the floor bow in a second. If that's not your favorite pose, or you know it doesn't make you feel good, then this is where you should wind up. One more big breath. Relax your belly, relax your face. All right, guys, and then sliding your body forward onto the mat. So belly down one more time. This is kind of the big kahuna of the floor back bends. Shoulders back, chest lifts. So you're finding a little cobra pose here. See if you can find that strength in your upper back first, and then squeeze your butt so your lower back is being assisted on both ends. Now, just like before, reach back, grab your right foot. Now, if you want a little bit different shoulder stretch and you have the mobility, reach in and grab your ankle from the inside. Again, making sure your knee doesn't drift out to the side. Match the position on the other side. So you're grabbing both ankles and then just start to kick back into your hands. So think about getting your thighs and your chest up. As you kick back, peeling your collarbones open, squeeze your shoulder blades together, squeeze your butt. Remember that yoga block between your knees. For 3, 2, and then with 1, slow release. Just make that little pillow out of your hands just like before. Heels stay up and just windshield wiper your feet from side to side. Feeling a little low back release. One more inhale. Now with your exhale, release everything down. Push yourself back to a child's pose one more time. If you were already there, just take another breath or so. Give yourself a pat on the back for letting yourself chill out a little bit. And then whatever way you need to get there, downward facing dog. All right, guys, inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, right knee to right wrist. So you're setting up in a pigeon pose, but I want you to slide your legs together instead of apart. So we're going to kind of work into a little bit more hip strength here. So notice when I'm up, my hips are away from the floor. I'm not drifting down. So all we're going to do here is we're just going to kind of squeeze the mat. So I really want you to find as much glute engagement as you can here. So as you press down, again, like you're dragging your feet back, lift your chest up high. Now both hands come up to the sky. So I'm squeezing so hard between my legs right now that my legs are shaking. So hopefully yours are too. Inhale, reach. Now with your exhale, take your hands behind your back, interlace your palms or your fingers and slide your knuckles down. So as you squeeze your shoulders back, as you squeeze the mat between your knees, you should start to feel a nice little stretch in the front of your hip. Feel your glutes engage a little bit more. 3, 2. Now with 1, both hands up, reaching high. Both hands down. Now bring yourself into a traditional half pigeon. So slide that left foot back just a little bit more. So we'll stay down here a little longer today and take a couple different variations. So first one, if you want to just kind of work on getting a little bit more of that upper back strength, a couple variations here. If you need to put something underneath your right hip, you can. Listen to how your right knee feels, of course. Lift your chest. Maybe you're supported by your fingertips. Option 2, hands into a prayer position. Option 3, hands reach up. Option 4, reach back and grab your left foot with your left hand. So notice I'm just kind of supporting myself on my right knee. And with this one, I'm not flopping out on the outside of my hip. I'm finding a little bit of that strength and suspension here. So whichever variation you're taking, make sure it's something that you can hold on to for 3 more breaths. Chest high, chest forward. And release if you're grabbing. Release both hands down to the ground. So let's take a little revolve version of pigeon pose. And if your knee's bothering you, come onto your back for a figure 4. I'll demo that in a second.
take your right hand out in front of you as far as you feel like you can get it. Take your left arm underneath your right arm and take a little twist here. So if you're taking this variation, you can also reach your right hand behind your back, see if you can capture your right big toe with your fingertips. If this doesn't feel good for your knee, the alternate is right ankle over left knee on your back. We'll be here for a little bit longer. So if you feel any discomfort in your knee, that's where you should be. Two more breaths. If you're revolved one way or another, just see if you can open up a little bit more. So maybe looking up over your right shoulder. If you haven't quite managed to grab that big toe, maybe do so now or get as close as you can. And careful release. Hands down on the mat, start to push yourself back up. So from here, carefully lean onto the outside of your right hip, swing your left leg around. If you're on your back, just come up. Slide your left heel up towards your groin. Shimmy your heel forward. So you're really trying to kind of close this gap as best you can. Again, listen to your knee. If you need a wider angle, that's fine. Chest lifts, hands into a prayer position. So this is more for alignment. Square that prayer position over your left leg. From there, inhale, both hands reach. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe grabbing calf, ankle, toes, whatever you can reach. If you want a little variation that I tend to like. Cross your wrists so the opposite hand is grabbing the opposite edge of the foot. Inhale, chest lifts up. Then with your exhale, pull, drop your forehead down between the gap and your elbows. One more big breath in. And then your exhale, release whatever you're grabbing. All right, so make some adjustments here so you can just kind of square your body towards the front of the mat. So your right leg is kind of shifting into more like a Sukhasana, which would just be a cross-legged position. Grab your left big toe with your left middle finger. So you're in kind of like a half happy baby pose. So this is option one. Option two is to start to straighten your left leg. And now everybody takes that double-binded grip, grabbing both sides of your foot. Pull your forehead towards your knee. Similar position, you're just kind of getting a little bit more support from your hips here. And remember, if your knee's bent, if you're just taking that half happy baby, that's a start. So don't try to force yourself into the hardest one if you're a little newer to the practice. Inhale one more time. And with your exhale, bend your knee, release. All right. Everybody make your way into Sukhasana. So that's just a regular cross-legged position. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, fold forward over your shins. Just kind of relax your low back here a little bit. See how your ankles, your hips, your knees are feeling. You guys know me. I'm not going to let you rest for that much longer, so enjoy it while you can. All right, then go ahead and release your way back up. So before we come to that sequence on the other side, we're going to get a little upper body work here. So straighten your legs out in front of you. If you need to readjust on your mat, do what you got to do. Point your toes a little bit. So if your toes are pointed, the backs of your legs are engaged. Pressing down, little drag back. So notice I have a little bend in my knees. Bring your palms down next to your sides. So we're trying to find some engagement here, especially in the low belly. So think about drawing in just below your belly button. Palms down on the floor on either side of your hips. Big inhale. Exhale, hips up. So butt off the ground. Again, think about pressing down, dragging back through your feet a little bit. So with my tailbone up, I'm just going to work on lifting one leg. And then switch. Inhale one more time, both feet down. Exhale, maybe both feet lift just for a second. Set it all the way down. Shake it out a little bit. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Nice and easy. Grab something or don't. Relax the back of your neck and just let your head hang. Slow release. Bend your knees, cross your ankles. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, palms down. See if you can hop back to a plank position. Final vinyasa of the class if you want it. Lower down carefully. Inhale, chest up. Downward dog. Pedal it out a little bit. I just realized I forgot like a whole huge sequence of some poses a while ago. Let's go through that real quick. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, swinging forward, set it down. Lean forward. Finding your standing splits. Jeez. Sunday morning's just not being kind to old Cameron. All right, guys, nice and easy. Start to bring your way back up. So there's a little detour before we come into that pigeon sequence on this side. So bring yourself to a warrior three position. Now remember, close your eyes, finding that balance on this side. Pigeon sequence is going to feel especially nice after this. Now with your eyes closed, start to pull yourself all the way back up to a tree pose. Do your best to keep your eyes shut. Just remember, if you fall over, it's really not a big deal. Take 5 big breaths. Find that stillness. Let the stress melt away from your shoulders and your face. All right, guys, pull your right knee up towards your chest. There we go. Big inhale. Now with your exhale, slow motion back through your warrior three stance. Eyes closed if you're up for the challenge. Set your foot down. Inhale, both hands up, crescent lunge. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Okay, let's work into a warrior into pigeon from here. Tiptoe your foot back. And again, the shorter version first. So keeping the hips activated, and that's actually a nice little sequence. Surprisingly, it worked out. So getting this left hip to work a little bit more. Chest lifts. Reaching your chest to the sky, lifting your hips away from the ground. Squeeze, really, really squeeze like you're trying to make yourself shake. And again, I'm shaking a little bit, so hopefully you are too. Both hands up, hands behind your back, clasp. Maybe other thumb on top if you can remember which one you did last time. Chest peels open. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lift a little bit higher like you're trying to lift yourself off the ground for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Again, releasing that tension as you slide back into more of a traditional pigeon stance. Take this opportunity to see what your body feels like it needs. If it means you need to come onto your back, come onto your back. So try to match what you did on the other side. Again, always looking for some semblance of symmetry. Maybe hands in prayer, maybe hands up, maybe left hand to knee, maybe right hand to foot. Find a little twist. If you're one of those fancy folks that can work into king pigeon, go for it. I sure can't, but you know, it's always something to work on. Find some lift, some engagement in your upper back. 3, 2, 1. Slow release as you melt towards the ground. Again, left arm slides forward, right arm under left. It's taking this twist to the degree that your body feels appropriate. And again, we're here for about 10 breaths, so you don't have to come into it and grab right away. Maybe you work into it more slowly, or maybe you just come onto your back and rest. For 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow, unwind. And when you're ready to do so, lean over onto your left hip, swing your leg all the way around, making these little basic adjustments. Straight right leg, pull your left heel up towards your groin, slide your heel forward a little bit. So again, hands in prayer just to find that alignment. Square your chest, your belly button over your right thigh as best you can. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, fall forward. Notice, is it harder? Is it easier to grab something here? My right side's always harder, so I don't know how you guys are feeling, but just kind of listen to your body, learn something new about yourself. Two more big breaths. See what you can do to match what you did on the other side for this position. As you exhale, release your grip, and we're just going to make this little adjustment, coming into a pretty similar pose, just like a slightly different dynamic. So you're kind of crossing your left ankle underneath your right thigh. Remember, first version, just grabbing half happy baby pose. So here, if you have tight hamstrings, that's fine, especially since we did a lot of activation for them today. If you can start straightening your leg a little bit more with one hand, maybe both hands, capturing your foot from either side. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, pull your forehead towards your knee. Three more big breaths, stay active. So even if you notice that your hamstrings are trying to pull your leg down, use it as resistance. Pull a little bit more, belly, forehead to shin. For 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee, release. Once again, just setting yourself up in Sukhasana. Okay, for this next movement, if you feel that it's in your practice to bring yourself into a half lotus or a full lotus position, this is one of those ones that I always encourage you not to force because you can really mess up your knees doing this. So if you're just fine in a regular seated position, that's fine. One more arm variation just to get the upper body working. Think about sliding your thumbs underneath your thighs a little bit so you're really narrowing your stance. So it's like we kind of cue in chaturanga a lot. We're using a lot of lat strength and a lot of triceps for this one. So you can start by just lifting your butt off the ground a little bit. Think about straightening your arms, push the ground away. So maybe this is enough for you, or maybe you lift your knees off the ground too. Find that engagement, let it shake a little bit. Remember, shaking means you're getting stronger. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set everything down. Whatever cross-legged variation you've taken, sit up as tall as you can in it. Shoulders back, face relaxed. I'll just take a quick inventory and make sure I didn't forget like another entire sequence of poses. I think we're good. I think. Let's take this into a little twist, guys. Both hands up briefly. Left hand down behind you, right hand to left thigh. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, twist. Looking back over your shoulder. Inhale, both hands back up. Get long through your rib cage, through the sides of your body. Both hands down to the other side. Use your hands for that little added lift, then use your core to twist. Just 3 breaths here, each exhale. Just drawing you a little bit further over into that right side twist. Then back to the center once more. Both hands up. Left hand down. Let's take one more side bend. As you reach your right hand over, press your right hip down to the ground. So as I bend my left elbow, just getting a little bit more depth from the side bend. Reaching, stretching, maybe take a peek underneath your right armpit. Inhale one more time. Now with your exhale, pull yourself back up. Just switch sides. Left hand comes up and across, right hand down to the floor. Side bending here. Left hip is anchored down to the ground. Just imagine there's an invisible weight just pressing your left hip down into the mat. One more breath in. Exhale, back to the center, both hands reaching high. Exhale, cactus elbows, little back bend. It's a little bit harder here, just do your best. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, hands to a prayer position, fold forward. If you're in lotus, definitely a little bit more touchy here. Be careful with your knees. Inhale one more time. Exhale, lean back, carefully release. It's a long time to be in a lotus pose. So if you're in lotus, use your arms to assist. Take your legs out in front of you. Give them a little shimmy, a little shake. One more time. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Belly to thighs, forehead resting down towards your kneecaps. As you relax the back of your neck, preparing to unwind onto the mat. This is going to lead right into our final Shavasana. So with your, again, face relaxed, your eyes aren't doing a whole lot. Tongue soft in your mouth. After grabbing something, release, chin to chest. Take your time rolling your entire spine down onto the floor. And again, that little bend in your knees will help you here. Just try to use that last bit of core strength not to flop down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head to the ground. Arms at your sides. Wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. Taking this opportunity for slightly longer Shavasana this morning, just doing a little body scan. So start to bring some attention to the soles of your feet. Notice if you can feel perhaps the creases on the bottom of your feet. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Feel that connection to your calves, your backs of your knees, wrapping around your shins. Maybe give your kneecaps a little wiggle just to remember that they're there. See if you can consciously relax both the fronts and the back sides of your thighs. Relax all the muscles around your hips. Just let your hips kind of melt down into the mat. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your belly with the rhythm of your breath. Just notice how that sensation reverberates up into your chest, your shoulders, your neck, and just relax all of those things as one bit more big heavy point of weight on the ground. Just let your shoulders melt down into the floor. Now, just as you did with your thighs, see if you can relax your biceps and your triceps, both sides of your upper arm. Maybe give your fingers a little wiggle. Feel all those little tendons and muscles that make your hands work in your wrists and your forearms. And we'll spend a little extra time with the hands. Just take a moment here to touch each finger to your thumb individually, one by one. Maybe once, maybe twice, maybe a couple times, maybe 3 times. And then relax your fingers, but I want you to think about each thumb. Just notice as much as you can about the sensation in both thumbs. And then let them relax completely. Bring your attention to your index fingers, that's your pointer finger.
what do you notice? Relax that. Move on to your middle finger. Notice your nail, your knuckles, any sensation of warmth or cold. And your ring finger. And your pinky. Become aware of the sensation of warmth around the palm of your hand. Perhaps you feel your heart beat a little bit in that sensation of warmth. Now see if you can make that transition from the heartbeat sensation in your palms to the heartbeat sensation in your chest. Perhaps noticing all the vascularity in your neck. See if you can feel the entirety of your scalp, the sensation of your hair. Relax your ears. And finally, back to where we started, relaxing all the muscles in your face. Instead of a series of muscles, it's just a mask that's just resting on your being. Relax your tongue, relax your jaw. Now, as you very gently turn your eyes up towards the center of your forehead, so just looking up a little bit, not strenuously. Bring your attention to that little area right between your brows. And see if you can keep your attention there as you just take 10 of the deepest breaths that you possibly can. Beginning to notice any intruding or unwanted thoughts, just notice the thought and let it unravel. Come back to your breath. Now, in a much briefer way, just kind of start to notice all those areas that we touched, from the soles of the feet through your body. Finding little areas of movement. See if you can identify the tiniest places you can move.
Of course, you're in the safety of your home, so you can move and squirm around whatever way you want to. I can't see you, and neither can anybody else. Now take a big inhale, reach both your arms way up above your head and stretch your body out if you want to, or just stay lying. Exhale, relax. Now roll onto one side, and as you rest your head on your bicep, again, see if you can keep your face completely relaxed. We don't do it very often, so just see if you can just not move a muscle in your face, except for maybe just the tiniest semblance of a smile. And keep that relaxed presence as you make your way up to a seated position. And sitting up nice and tall, feel the length of your spine from your tailbone to the crown of your head. See if you can get an inch taller. Bring your hands to a prayer position. It's a moment of gratitude for something in your life, your healthy body and your healthy mind always. Gratitude for a rainy day, because why not? At least we still get to practice together. Thank you guys for being here. As always, namaste. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Thanks, guys. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. Oh. See you later, Sam. Thanks, man. Thanks, Clara. Thanks, everybody. See you guys soon.